Star Wars 7x7, episode 2654. All right, we're continuing our series of looks back at Celebration Orlando and interviews I did there in 2017, this time featuring Star Wars author Cole Horton. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, Cole Horton, at the time of this interview, this is April of 2017, was another one of the co-authors of Star Wars, the Visual Encyclopedia from DK Publishing, and that is where I caught up with him at the DK Publishing signing event that they were holding for the book, the same place that I caught up with Trisha Barr for my interview with her that I just shared with you. And if you've listened to the podcast for any length of time, you've probably heard Cole Horton interviewed on the show before. He had 3 books last year, so he was on the show 3 different times for the Book of Lists and the Traveler's Guide to Batuu and the Star Wars book, and that one he co-authored. The other 2 he wholly authored. And he is a co-author on the upcoming Star Wars Battles That Change the Galaxy. So yeah, busy guy in the Star Wars writing universe. But as I said, I managed to catch up with him during that DK signing event. He's going to talk about the contributions that he made to the Visual Encyclopedia and also give hints at Easter eggs that are in there. And he mentions one that related to, at that time, a project that hadn't been announced yet, and so he couldn't share details about that, but just based on the timing of it, it was April of 2017, and I'd say just based on the stuff that he is familiar with, Battlefront 2 came out much later in 2017, so if we had to guess, that seems like the likely Easter egg scenario for what he had been talking about in the time. But hey, good luck if you want to dive back into that Visual Encyclopedia and see if you can dig out that reference wherever it may be. But that's, I think, enough introduction for now. Let's just jump right in where Cole Horton is going to share a bit about that book, but also, of course, his favorite Star Wars memory.
Cole Horton, thank you so much for showing up on Star Wars 7x7. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, you are one of the co-authors of Star Wars, the Visual Encyclopedia. What sections did you work on for the book?
Let's see. My sections, I did a lot of blasters, a lot of helmets, and then a bunch of weird things like protective clothing and furniture and art and ethnography, and some of the intros as well. Like I wrote the history intro because I'm a historian by trade, so it worked out nice.
So when you saw the list of spreads and the list of topics that you were going to have to cover, was there anything that jumped out where you said, oh, this has to be mine, I have to do this one?
Definitely droids. Droids are definitely my favorite Star Wars topic. In fact, I'm drawing one right now as I autograph this book. Droids are my sort of specialty in the Star Wars universe, and so when we all got together and got to call dibs on what we wanted to write, that was mine.
So was there anything in that list where you looked at it and you said, well, this isn't exactly my range of expertise, but I'm going to challenge myself or I'm going to stretch myself and I'm just going to take it on and see what happens?
I think I flat out said no senators because I had such a traumatic experience writing about senators in a previous book.
What?
So instead of the senator spread, I believe I got the senatorial AIDS spread, which, junior senators, there must be somehow different. But no, otherwise they're all fun, and especially on this because you're looking at it from a very different point of view. Even on things that I've written over and over, like droids, you're really writing them differently because you sort of flip the topic on its head and come at it from a different angle, and that keeps it fresh.
So did you put any sort of Easter eggy type things in the book? And if so, can you give any hints as to where we might find them?
I did. There's some more obvious ones in the food spread. If you're fans of Chuck Wendig's Aftermath or Alex Freed's Twilight Company, there are some things there. And then there is one very, very far out and very minor reference to something, to a story that won't be told for many, many months to come and is so far unannounced. So people will have to discover that Easter egg after that content is released.
I think I'll have to follow up with you on that one. And so the last question I have for you that I'm asking everybody here at Celebration is, what is your favorite Star Wars memory? And that can be movie-related, not movie-related, real-life experience, whatever you like.
Mine's probably video game-related, and I remember playing Star Wars Galaxies, which was the MMO game from the early 2000s, and I remember meeting a Wookiee in that game who turned out to be just a great person. It's so funny how you build these almost real-life relationships with people you meet on the internet, and in that case, a Wookiee from a video game. But some really great experiences, very memorable things. It's like I was there, but it was all just a game, and I will never forget that.
Or was it?
No doubt.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great being here. Thank you for having me.
And there you go. That's author Cole Horton talking about his favorite Star Wars memory and also his participation in the creation of the Visual Encyclopedia. And as I mentioned in previous episodes, this is only one of 7 interviews that I'm featuring on the podcast, but many more were done over the course of a couple of weeks in April of 2017. And so I am creating a Twitter list, or I've created a Twitter list. It's already created by now. And they're all there if you want to continue down the rabbit hole with the other interviews that I did at that event. That will be pinned to the top of my profile at SW7X7 Podcast. And that is going to do it for this episode of the show. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it, as always. And may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.